Hey everybody, it's Mandy from Tropical Forge. So I've mentioned before that we weren't going to take the garden, then we were, then we weren't, then we were, and we've gone back and forth like 50 times. So we decided that we are taking the garden. We have a lot of time and money into this garden. We debated taking the dirt. I did the math, it's not really worth it. But the beds, you know, just besides the money, we have hours and hours and hours of labor in building these beds. So we're going to take them with us. So we have the Pettibone. We used the Pettibone this weekend to move some outbuildings, move some things around. It was 100% worth the rental for the weekend. And then Chris, who's helping us out, was like, why don't we use it to move the beds? The tractor can pick the beds up, but there's a lot of hugelkultur in there, if you don't know what that is. Basically, instead of filling them all with topsoil and mushroom dirt or compost or whatever, in the bottom I have like sticks and small logs, sawdust, saw shavings, newspaper, cardboard, any kind of organic matter. Lasagna gardening is another name for it. So I have all that in there. So our hope is that we can put the forks under the bed, pick it up, all the crap falls out, and then we're going to stage these for tomorrow. We're hoping to rent from the local place down the road, the 40-foot gooseneck, and then hopefully move this whole garden in one fell swoop, which would be just phenomenal. So that's what we are going to try and do today. All right, so we're back at the old house. You can see how beautiful my garlic is. I have this bed and I have two beds over there. It's doing so good. I'm afraid I may not get scapes though, because I have to move these. We'll see what happens. Even if I can save the garlic, we're doing good. So I mean, you can see how tall this is. Some of these are 2.5 feet tall. So my plan is, I brought a stock tank. I'm gonna move all of them into that, and then tomorrow when we're up there, I will get them in the ground and we'll see what happens. All right, so I'm very gingerly pulling out. I lost one. Pulling these out. Of course, all of my tools are at the other house, so I'm using a big ass shovel, which whatever, it'll get the job done. So I'm gonna pull all of these out. Dad's gonna put dirt in the stock tank. This is some mushroom dirt topsoil that we had left from last year. So that will get it to the new house. We'll put some water in there. Hopefully they'll... All right, so I got all of my garlic tore out. We're gonna put it in here. That was harder than I expected. Everyone blames me for the harebrained schemes. Right. Alright, so the forks are getting stuck on the fabric, so we're bringing the forks out and trying to... This is the hugelkultur or lasagna gardening that I was talking about. You can see that there's still sticks and some small pieces of wood and whatever in there, but man, that is beautiful, beautiful. All right, dirt. So the dirt is causing too much tension in the box. So what they did on the last one was they took the screws out of the corner, released the tension, and then it was fine. We just screwed it back together. So we're starting our pile over here. They're taking the screws out of the corner of this one. We're gonna lift it and we should be on a roll now. Okay. We were going to take these beds whole, and then I thought, okay, there's only 2 screws in each corner. We could take this thing flat. So, plan F, G, I don't know. We are going to unscrew all of these. We're gonna pile them into a couple of the bigger beds because I have 8, 10, and 12-foot beds. We're going to take them all as sides. So you see Dan just took a side off. We're gonna take them all as sides and then just reassemble it when we get there, which is kind of great because that means I don't have to rent a trailer. So that saves me $300. I don't have to wait for the trailer and hope that it's not being rented tomorrow. And I can just sit these somewhere at the new place, and I don't have to have like a big bed like this taking up space until we get it assembled. So I think I've mentioned before, obviously I accepted that I may or may not have a garden, you know, this year, which is totally fine. But you know, if we do it this way, I could even just put up a few beds. So that is plan G, and here you go. This is what it's going to be. So we're a couple hours into this project. We're having to do them kind of differently depending on where they are because of the pressure of the dirt and if they were hooked to the next one and all that. So Dan's using the high lift jack. Some of these we've been using the high lift jack to get it up. Then unscrew it. It releases some of the pressure of the dirt. So we're about halfway there on the top garden. Zad and Chris, here's my goat shed right here. Zad and Chris are getting the goat shed staged for the shed hauler because of course it rained yesterday all day, or almost all day, and it's muddy. So we're hoping if we get it up to the driveway, we shouldn't have any issues, because that's the last thing we need is the shed hauler to say that like he can't get it because it's too muddy or some nonsense like that. So we're still chipping away. I took a pause on the garden project because we needed the help. So there's a pile of eggs underneath the goat barn. I'm guessing they're from sometime last year, because if you even look at them, they explode and there's like hard-boiled egg everywhere. So there's like 3 dozen eggs under there. We were poking them with sticks and they were popping and they stink and it's gross. Anyway, so we are moving the goat barn up top so that the shed hauler can get it. This actually went way better than I expected. So we had to put a strap around it. Stop moving it with the petty bone. Lord willing, we can get it up top.
Hey, Chris.
Doing great, babe.
You're doing great, babe.
Hey, if you need tomorrow, we can call you at work so that you can hear, hey Chris, hey Chris, hey Chris, because I know you're going to miss it.
I am.
Where Dan is. So the beds on here are obviously a lot shorter, so we started unscrewing them and then we're like, this is a big waste of time. So he is just coming in with the forks and lifting them up, which is perfect. We might unscrew a few of them for transport, but this was a lot easier than the top. All right, so we got the entire top garden tore apart. The bottom garden is tore apart. We have the entire top garden on our little landscape trailer, which is crazy. Since we took it in pieces, that was possible. So we're gonna strap this down. We have these few boxes from the bottom, which are just gonna have to go on another load. We got the hoop house tore apart tonight. That's gonna be super fun to put back together, so stay tuned for that. We're turning that hoop house, which I did use to rotate turkeys in, into a greenhouse. So I'll have a video coming about that. Zad used his Tetris Level Master 1000 to get this trailer loaded with all of the garden pieces. So we're gonna get this strapped down. We're gonna head up to the new house tonight, get this unloaded. This is not a priority to get set back up. You know, like I said before, I knew that I may not have a garden this year, and I just, you know, cost of moving. But it's fine. I have lots of things on the shelf. I'm not super worried. There's a produce auction right down the road. Missy already checked it out, said it's awesome, so I'm super excited to check that out. I'm sure I'll be coming at you with some videos from that. So this was a success. I can't even believe we got that entire top garden on this trailer, and we just have these few little boxes from the bottom left. So stay tuned. I'll be showing you the setup of this, and probably my next video will be moving sheds. So if you're going to be in a situation where you might be moving homesteads and you need to take sheds, stay tuned for that shed video. I'll have lots of tips and tricks on how to get that done successfully. It's not the easiest thing to do. It can be done. But with the price of wood and sheds and all that stuff, sometimes it is cost effective to pay someone to move your sheds that are oversized loads. So stay tuned. I'll have that coming for you in the next couple days, and we'll see you next time.